Follow me when the sky starts to change. Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again.
With anime in our souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control, we are a group of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through the wrestling events of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all of you nerds out there. So grab your steel chair, yell for the table, get put through an experience unlike any other. Brought to you, of course, by Anima Wii Studio. This is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. Happy Friday to everybody out there. It has been a glorious, nice, cool, chill day here on the East Coast. Some of you guys have had a lot of snow. Some of us didn't have too much snow, and some people didn't get a lot of it or any at all. But that's neither here nor there because SmackDown tonight was hot in a lot of areas. Some places were kind of cool, kind of cold, but hey, at least in my humble opinion, I think this was a very good SmackDown to kind of start ending the year off here. And plus, we have another week until John Cena's final match, and we got to decide who his final opponent is. And oh, howdy boy, the IWC are going to be in a little tizzy hissy fit for the next week or so until they realize, oh my God, that match actually slapped. Or we'll be there live being like, wow, that match was actually shit. But judging by how this tournament has gone, this match is probably going to be pretty dang good, but we'll talk about that as we get to it. Of course, as always, want to thank all of our returning listeners, returning viewers. Love to see you all out there listening to us, giving us the fair shot, fair deal, and all that. Let us know how much you enjoyed SmackDown or hated SmackDown in the chat, in the comments. Let us know. Be sure to like the video, like the stream, and all that, because every like gives our pups their treats for the night, and we want to make sure that we make them all fat and plump. And don't worry, folks, we're not feeding them oats at all, so don't have to worry about sending them to that little shed. And if you know, you know. But if you're new around these parts, who are we exactly besides three jerk-offs on the internet talking about wrestling and sports entertainment? Well, of course, let's do some quick introductions, getting that out of the way. First and foremost, I am your reigning, defending, undisputed, universal heavyweight champion of the world. I am your guide through SmackDown tonight. I go by the name of Watkins. And yes, we're going to have a good, fun time, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, there are two lovely gentlemen here to help me kind of talk about all this stuff. And, we'll have some fun comments. Some people might get, thrown out. I don't know. Depends on what they say or what words they say. We'll find out. But first and foremost, to my right, he's formerly known as a visionary, but that title is now being revoked from him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, he is no longer a visionary. That title belongs to me now. You'll find out when you're older, folks, why that is. But hey, at least he's a revolutionary. At least he's somebody who is known as Bill Goldberg's #1 stan around these parts. Ladies and gentlemen, he is your Latino heat, Legendy Vash. Vash, how you doing tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, the legendary Humanoid Typhoon and the Latino Heat, and yes, still the visionary. Just for this night itself, it got revoked, and I will give the hat, the straw hat, to Watkins for tonight for having and leading the grand ship, leading the grand line. Where we're going in this direction until next week Saturday in this maybe boring character match, but hey, the match is going to be slapping, but we'll be talking about it of how great tonight was, the SmackDown, because it was a fight night. A lot of things was good. Maybe only 2 segments your boy Vash fell asleep on. Not actually one did, but the other 2 I was just there, not really paying attention. But I can't wait to talk about it. Honestly, it's also great to have a camera on. If anybody has seen the Weebs of the Ring or the Animal Studio content for the past week and a half, having no camera talking to the team, I could tell how they're not used to it, and I'm not used to it. Because even without the camera, I've been talking to the camera like, yeah, guys, you can see me, but I cannot seeing me. However, it's
Yep.
great to be here. As
Slow
always,
pop.
like I was saying for the outro, I'm also saying here, if you're watching us for the first time, like the video, stream as well, subscribe if you're watching it for the first time, or if you're a returning viewer but forgetting, see that red button below, and it's like, why is it not gray? Why is it not dark gray? What's going on? It means that you gotta press that subscribe button. And as always, we're here every Mondays and Friday doing our after show coverage of WWE. We don't do AEW or TNA next year yet, but if you guys
Yet.
ask for it, support
Yeah.
us. And you guys want to see some live reactions on twitch.tv/Animal Studio, that is possible. But all that matters is your support to know, because you guys may be asking, where did Grappling of the Week happen last week? Hey, you guys are seeing more short form content. You guys are seeing more stuff like tomorrow, some Monday morning video, some Saturday morning video of some dates. You guys are going to see some short form content clips of our podcast. So all those little things is what helps and supports us. But I know I've spoken enough. We also got to hear some knowledge being dropped. Right, Watkins?
Oh, yeah. The man who loves to drop so many boxes on so many feet, stubbing so many toes. I apologize, everybody, for having your toes and feet having to be put into plastic containers because of this man. But hey, what he's dropping for you is some knowledge, because he's known around these parts as the genius of the mat. He's going to help us process these stories that happened as I drop my fidget spinner and have to reach down and go get it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Drop This Box, giving you guys and gals his initial thoughts on SmackDown. Drop, how you doing tonight? What'd you think of SmackDown?
So first off, I want to apologize for making you drop your fidget spinner. And then also, when it comes to SmackDown tonight, I would have to say, there's definitely going to be some conversation here. So I really do hope you guys enjoy the show. And definitely looks like things are heading down the proper direction when it comes to that said talent that's going to be on the Saturday Night's Main Event show next week. So I am very happy with the sort of direction, which of course we will dive more into. But yeah, I actually didn't mind this SmackDown. There was a few things that caught my attention, and when I say that right now, just remember when that time comes, you'll probably know, because a storm will be approaching once that part of the podcast hits. But yeah, it's good to be here as always. We always have a fun conversation, talk about everything regarding wrestling, and 2026 is going to be a big year for us. We're going to get better. We're going to continue growing as ever. And before we start our show, and before I pass it over to Watkins again, just thank you guys for all the support. The channel growth has been great. And chat more. We want to interact with our community, so please don't feel afraid to chat.
Don't be shy, because I also, with that transition, I also want to give a big shout, because before we miss, we also got to mention that our world champion Watkins will also be at Saturday Night Main Event next week, a week from now. And he will be seeing what has occurred tonight, the fallout, the events, the things that has been announced of what's happening for next week. Watkins will be seeing that live. So if you see him, don't be shy. Don't attack him. Don't spear him. But also, you can't miss him.
Yeah. And don't worry, you guys will be able to see me. I'm not some unseen 17. I'll be there. I'll probably have my phone on me anyways. I might be doing some content or some clips or something during the show. It's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna all have a good time in DC. And yeah, the cards at least shaping up, so I'm happy about that. I know we did release a video earlier. I was just like, hey, we haven't had any matches announced yet for Saturday night's main event.
Let me throw a prediction and see what happens.
But we'll talk about that later, because we at least know one match that's happening. We know somebody's gonna have their final match, but we got to decide who's gonna be facing Mr. Super Cena, Mr. Superman, Mr. Batman, Mr. Whatever, Goku, whatever hero, whatever top star you want to call him. Somebody's got to face John Cena. Somebody's got to put him 6 feet into the dirt and never return to a wrestling ring ever again. And I'm going to say this, okay, this tournament was kind of wild, because first of all, we didn't get a bracket till the second round. So already we're just like, okay, well, who's in this tournament? I mean, we got surprises, cool, neat, awesome. And a lot of people, I'm gonna throw this out, a lot of people thought we were gonna get Jay and Gunther in the finals. I'm glad we didn't, because I think a lot of people would have been very, very much more sour than they probably are right now, And excuse me, I'm gonna, make sure my world's smallest violin is tuned for our discussion tonight as well when we talk about all this. But we have the finals of the John Cena tournament. Gunther taking on LA Knight. Yeah. Match was great. Match was awesome, and I'm glad too, because this is another thing I wanted to point out throughout this tournament. I wish we got more promo segments with the people involved in the tournament. Like, I think we got like little snippets here and there from people, but we didn't get a lot of like bigger promo segments. But we at least got stuff tonight between LA Knight and Gunther, where LA Knight, he's fired up as always, and he's ready to get violent with Gunther. This is like their second match on the main roster, because correction, second match ever in WWE, because their first match happened in NXT. So it's like, okay, we need to run this back a little bit, because this is something fresh, it's something modern, something we can actually get the crowd excited. And this crowd was hot for this match. Like, they were into it, for at least from what I could hear on my iPad. But Gunther, meanwhile, he's not only looking to beat LA Knight, but I really enjoy how he did talk to John through the interview, where he's just like, hey, you know what, John, watch this match, see what I do, and make sure you know how I beat LA Knight. And I love how it plays in later on to the night with the match. But yeah, I thought the match was great. Just another good showcase for Gunther and his fellow opponent, this time being LA Knight. Both men really brought their A game. LA Knight continuing to like find an answer for a lot of Gunther's offense. But again, Gunther just being kind of that wall that he just is. Like, he's just a giant T-Rex, like, to kind of take from his dropkick that he has. They call it the T-Rex dropkick and all that. Like, that's basically what Gunther is. And I also really appreciate too Gunther pulling out a different submission here. Like, it didn't just end in a sleeper hold or a power bomb. And I mean, this is something I've always touted when it comes to Gunther matches. He always finds a different way to win a match. Sometimes it's a sleeper hold, sometimes it's a splash, sometimes it's a power bomb. Doesn't matter. He will end you no matter what, whenever, and all that. So I got to look up the name of this submission hold. So I'll probably do that while my fellow co-hosts here are going off on their tangents and all that. But Drop, I'm going to start with you with this one. And there's a reason I'm starting with Drop with this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, act all confused over there, buddy. Yeah, there's a reason. So Drop, what'd you think of the match? What'd you think of the tournament too? Like, this is basically like us, I guess, kind of breaking down the tournament a little bit too. Like, we can kind of break that down as well. But like, let's talk about the final first. Like, what'd you think of the match? Some of the promo segments we got leading into it tonight, and of course the finish, because we all know the IWC just absolutely adored this finish with Gunther going over.
So when it comes to the match itself, one thing I will say that I did tell you guys before we started the show, I'm glad that LA Knight looked good in this match, because LA Knight has been doing very well when it comes to these high profile matches that he's been in as of recent. So compared to the LA Knight that we got many years ago, this is definitely a better presentation of the character, because you kind of need things like this if you really want to get ahead of the game. And what I mean by that is, if you take somebody like Cody Rhodes, who has a lot of stamina in him, where he's able to push himself to the next level when it comes to maybe 2 or 3 finishers and he's getting up or whatever. We saw LA Knight in this match get put through a lot of shit, and he was still able to push himself to show that, yeah, I belong here with Gunther and Cody and all these other guys. Because at the end of the day, in all honesty, would have been cool to see LA Knight win, of course. But the main thing I really care about, in all honesty, outside of this tournament, is just for him to actually matter as a wrestler, to actually be something in the near future. Because after we cover this tournament and Saturday night's main event, as much as it's going to be heartbreaking to see John Cena go, we're going to move on from that and we're going to continue focusing on what's happening next. And what I'm looking at right now is seeing LA Knight actually walking up the stairs where he needs to be so he can open up that door and be with a lot of those other main event guys. Because I consider him a main event guy. I'm sorry, you can disagree with me all you want. I do consider him to be a main event guy. He has everything you need to fit in a category like that. He's very charismatic. He's really good in the ring. Doesn't have to be like phenomenal or anything, but he does his job and he meets those standards for that. And promo-wise, I mean, God, he's untouchable when it comes to that sort of thing. I always love listening to him cut promos because he just gets it. He has that it factor. So I'm hoping that's what we take with the character moving forward, because this was a great match with Gunther. This is probably the best LA Knight match I've seen in a long time when it comes to the past LA Knight matches that we got this year. Like, he looked really damn good here. It just shows like how much stamina, like I brought Cody up because, I mean, hey, Cody's been through a lot of shit. He went up against Brock, Roman, all these other guys. He still got up. He's a tough guy. He's showing that. I brought him up for example because, I mean, Gunther's no joke. He's somebody that's pretty much a bully. He'll push you around, do this and that. LA Knight was still able to get up from those things, and I can give props to people like that that actually have the balls to do something like that, and I'm really hoping we continue that rhythm with him moving forward. And yeah, Gunther won. I mean, I don't really care, to be honest, because, I mean, Melo was my guy. He didn't go through. That's fine. I'm really hoping we get a proper direction with him with what he's currently doing, which we'll obviously talk about later. But we're just moving on. Hopefully things align in the right direction. All I'm asking, in all honesty, is just a good match. Give good John Cena a good showing towards the end. That's all I'm really hoping for here. Because, I mean, here you have it. John Cena's final opponent being Gunther. Was it predictable? Sure, but at the same time, we move on. We obviously critique what needs to be critiqued and everything. We discuss the match when it happens, and we'll see where we go from here. Because I feel like I would probably have more of an issue with how the match is structured. If it's not structured properly in the way I know they could do it, then you're probably going to hear a lot of, like, you know, stuff coming out of me. Because, I mean, you're putting Gunther against Super Cena, you know Super Cena is going to be tapping into this. So, well, it's not going to be an easy fight for Gunther. I will say that. It definitely will be Super Cena versus Gunther. And Super Cena, based on what we've seen this year, with that character coming out again, I mean, you gotta mentally and physically prepare for somebody like that. That guy's a demon, no joke.
Yeah, especially if you're looking to make him give up. Like Gunther was saying at the end of that match, saying, yeah, I'm going to make you give up. I'm going to make you tap out. Like, okay. Cena has very barely, maybe once or twice in the early part of his career tapped out. I don't recall any other time he has.
Me either, honestly. I haven't either.
Me neither. I remember it's been definitely less than 5 times in my that I could recall. That's why I agree with that.
Yeah. And I mean, I kind of agree with you too when you were saying, okay, LA Knight is a main event player. Like, he is, you know, and I definitely see him up there in like that upper echelon. It's just, well, I'm a hold on. I'm a table that thought, because where I agree with you, there is another level beyond that. Yeah. Almost like, you know, there's a level beyond that of a Super Saiyan. But Vash, go ahead, buddy.
How you doing? How you doing?
Let out all your stuff. Because I think my world's smallest violin is ready. So, you know, whenever you're ready.
All right, look, chat. I'm gonna speak some facts, and this is what it is. Do I enjoy Gunther? Yes. Do I think he's a great superstar? Yes. Do I think that he's a fantastic wrestler, in-ring awareness, knowing what to do and tells a story? Yes. In the recent 2025, he has his moment, world title, lost to Jey Uso. He has lost to CM Punk. He disappeared a bit. However, I just want to list a bit. He's right now 38 years old, 2 times world title, an IC title reign of 666 days. He has defeated Randy Orton 2 times from what I'm seeing here, and he has retired. Supposedly, Vash is a big fan of Goldberg. He has retired Goldberg huge already. He's gonna becoming a legend killer monarch. He's gonna probably retire Randy Orton in a couple of years. That's also my prediction. Just throwing that out there as well. Because if he's gonna become the legend killer of retiring this old farts, then maybe John Cena and then a few other people might get retired by Randy. Oh, cool. LA Knight. He's 43 years old, 0 world champions, 2 times U.S. champion, both of them less than 45 days, I believe, from the top of my head, and the fastest rising star from SmackDown since 2024 to now, and the most matches in 2025. Right now, out of the two, LA Knight needed more of the rub, more of the win, because after this tournament, where's LA Knight going? I do agree. This match was amazing. I agree with everything that Watkins said about the match itself, the way execution, the way that I was on my toes. I was like, yo, what's going on here? Like, LA Knight might take it. He might win it. I was on my toes. I was there ready to just be full excitement, be like, yo, the visionary happened and everything. Great. Watkins got the W and Gunther won. Did I feel any excitement for it? Hell no. I didn't even cheer. I'm like, cool, move on. Gunther versus John Cena next week. Cool. What I prefer, what I would have seen, like Drop This Box said, Carmelo Hayes and other younger superstar I would have preferred. Gunther to me does nothing for me in this tournament. Never have cared for it. It was predictable. Like Drop This Box said, it was something that we already saw coming a mile away. There's a few upsets like, oh, this could have happened. And I maybe could have taken it. Sadly, it didn't happen. But still, overall, congrats to Gunther for the W, the way to verse John Cena. And most likely, you'll be making him tap out to just show that you are that defining, final boss that where we don't have it no more with The Rock. Gunther maybe becoming that person, that type of, like the pinnacle of the final boss with the skill set of taking out Goldberg and John Cena the same year and having that type of presence, the hockey of the ring general. But for me, when it comes to this tournament, to come to this storyline, I did not care for it. That's all I got.
So here's my thing with all that. Because, okay, Gunther's also the main event player as well. As we all know.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Again, two-time world champion. I mean, say what you want about both reigns. Let's be honest, both of his reigns were kind of when they gave him the belt. Especially that first time when his first challenger was Randy Orton, and then it kind of started going downhill where they were like, okay, let's have him kind of second guess himself with Damian Priest. You know what? Fair. That Damian Priest is a big guy, also a former world champion. We can tell a decent story there. Then they give him Jey Uso. It's like, okay, you give him Jey Uso for Saturday Night's main event. Cool, neat, fine, whatever. Then you do the WrestleMania thing. And that's when things start going downhill. Because immediately after that, you had him bully the Alpha Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Backlash. He goes up against Pat McAfee. Okay. He disappears for a bit. Okay. Takes the title off of Jey Uso on a random Raw. Okay. Faces Goldberg. Fine. Cool. Great. Awesome. Make Goldberg pass out. Yay. Everyone in the world's happy about that. Then gets decimated by CM Punk at SummerSlam. You know what? Fine. Fair. That was actually a good match. So I'll give you guys that one. But he had to go away for a bit because he broke his nose and all that. And then coming back, it's like, okay, we kind of need to repackage him a little bit. We kind of need to revitalize what Gunther truly is. And this is why I wanted to table that comment about the main event picture, because where they're both on that main event level, there's just that little extra step above all of that. And what I mean by that is Gunther's at the point of his career where he needs to start mixing it up with the top of the card. LA Knight's done that a few times. He has, I mean, granted it wasn't against John, but he has been with John in the past for a few things. He's already scrapped with Roman Reigns.
Yep.
He's had a few confrontations with like Cody and
Oh, yeah.
Randy in the past. Okay,
Mhm.
fine, great,
He had a
awesome.
match
But
with Cody, I believe, on Raw.
I still don't. Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Oh no, I said it, I think he when he was heel still, he did have a match with Cody on Raw.
Yeah. So he's had some of those scraps. Gunther, where he's had some of those,
Mm-hmm.
the scrap he had with Cody, he lost. Okay, fine, cool, neat, awesome. He has yet to face Roman. Hasn't even gotten close to Seth
Mm-mm.
at Rollins at all.
Mm-mm.
I'll throw Drew in this picture as well. I feel like Drew's kind of on that level as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, he's also beaten Drew, so it's just like Gunther has yet to really face the people that are at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can get there is to smash yourself through that glass ceiling. And right now, that glass ceiling is John Cena. And it's like, okay, you can say what you want about Goldberg. Say the whole stuff about Goldberg, about his past, like WCW stuff. But at the end of the day, Goldberg was from a way different era than John. Like, and especially with Goldberg, he was somebody that was like, you need to beat him quick or make him drain all his energy very quick. So Goldberg, you can kind of, in a way, you can kind of formulate a plan against him. With John, it's almost like Sami Zayn up to 11. Like, John does not give up. He very rarely loses, especially when he's in that Super Cena mode. Like, yeah, he lost to Dom, but hey, a kick to the nads from a pretty lady, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for losing that match. But it's like with Gunther, again, like, and I've said it before, he needs to be set up now as that big wall, because one thing WWE is missing, and I thought about this earlier today, they are missing like just a big person, like almost a monster in a way. Because like in the past, like what, Kane, Big Show, all that and stuff. And I mean, say what you want about their like in-ring ability, they were still kind of monsters. There were still people that was just like, hey, you need to like figure something out, some way to beat them. I mean, I can many times I watch the Royal Rumble and they're just like, how are they going to get Big Show over the top rope? They're able to do it every single time. That's besides the point. But like WWE is just missing that monster person. And with Brock basically being part-time, they need somebody there full-time to really be that person. That person's Gunther. And that's why I said it since day one of this tournament. This was Gunther's tournament to win. Not only to come back and remind people how good not only he is, but how good the people that he faces are. And to remind the people in the back too how good those people are. Because that's the thing. With a wrestling match, it's more than just a person looking good. Both people need to look good. And that's how to operate a match. He knows how to structure a match to not only make himself look like the big, bad, brutish monster, but to also make the person that he's facing look really good. And when it comes to John Cena's last match, and especially after some of the matches we've gotten this year with John Cena, he needs a good match to leave off on. And that's no slight to LA Knight. LA Knight is a fantastic act. He is a great wrestler. Again, there's just levels to this thing. There's levels to it, and Gunther's just on a different one. And John needs that opponent, because when you look back at John's career, not only just like the whole like never giving up thing, John's whole thing is he is the good guy. He is the Superman. He needs to rise above all that. He needs to be the one to beat the bad guy. So his final match should be a good guy versus a bad guy, you know? I mean, even look back to his ruthless aggression thing. Kurt Angle was a heel at the time. He was a dick. He was a complete asshole. And John Cena just comes up as a young rookie, being like, "Oh, ruthless aggression." Ugh. It was still good versus evil. And that's what this final match is. That's what it needed to be since day one. And it's just, again, this is coming from somebody. Where's my damn hat? This is coming from somebody, fucking LA Knight. is one of my favorite wrestlers. I went to freaking Hagerstown, Maryland when he got the damn key to the city.
Yeah.
And listened to his speech and got a good picture, like, up close with him. Like, I'm not just saying this as some sort of Gunther fanboy. I'm a fan of LA Knight as well. It's just there's just different layers to this, people.
Yeah.
And I get being fans. I get that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, and
Yeah.
it can't always be the good guy. It just can't.
No,
And that's my little rant. That's my little rant. So,
No, I get what you're saying too, because like the mindset I try having when I come onto this podcast, I try looking at it from a fan's perspective, and I also try looking at it from the perspective that you were talking about when it comes to the realistic approach. Because as much as I wanted these other guys to win, like if it were to happen, because they done stuff like this in the past where they caught us off guard, it would have been awesome. But at the same time, I did know deep down inside he was going to win, because they want to build him as this unstoppable monster, because you're going to need somebody like that when people like Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker and whoever else is coming up, like Obafemi, another one to throw in there, Ricky Saints, all these other guys coming up from NXT. You kind of need that roadblock for them, because it's pretty much where Brock is, like back in that era all those years ago, and all these other tough guys. So it's like, I definitely understand like where they're going with this. So that's why I try to separate that other part of me, because you gotta have to look at how it's structured, because I mean,
yeah,
for the most part, when you do watch this show, it's like it's kind of easy to predict like what route they're gonna go down, unless they pull an EO like they did around WrestleMania. We're like, oh shit, they got EO winning the title. I thought Rio was gonna take on Bianca. Like, okay, I like that change and everything. So it's like, I definitely get like what they're doing with it though. So
yeah,
that's why like
and
I'm not too stressed about it, because I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, like the way that you analyzed it, because I do the same thing when I cover like, you know, different manga series on my channel. I try to really break things down to understand what the author is trying to tell me. So when it comes to like the creative aspect of it in WWE, I mean, I can understand that, because it's like nobody wants John Cena going out looking like a phony. And when you look at somebody like Gunther, who happens to really bring the best out of people, and John Cena has been known to do the exact same thing as well, you kind of have to bring him to the extra mile. And I mean, you want John Cena coming out looking like a badass. I mean, hey, that's definitely one way to do it, because the way I also look at this match, like being structured as well, I don't see all that stuff that Gunther is doing right now. I don't see it working. Like, he thinks that's going to be the kryptonite to take down Super Cena. Yeah. It's not. Like, all the stuff that he did to Carmelo Hayes, all the stuff that he did to Javon Evans and LNA and all these other people, it's not going to work. Cena's just going to keep on getting up. He's going to find some way out. And that's what I like about it, because it just gives him like this super tough challenge. Because again, you know, I have nothing against Gunther. I actually think he's pretty awesome. I like him as a character, because he stands out on his own. There's just also that part of you that tries rooting for other people, mainly because, and this is just me coming at creative, not the wrestlers themselves, because I kind of feel like you need to structure these other guys a lot better. Like, you're doing a great job of Gunther and everything, but I mean, but you gotta throw the bone to other people as well if you want to do their own separate thing on the side. Trust me, I give Sean the exact same stuff on NXT, so this is no different.
Yeah, and I mean that's just the thing. It's like, and it's tough, you know, trying to separate the fan and the analytics side, and or the realistic side, I guess, or like the big picture side, maybe, because like, once we found out that it was LA Knight against Gunther in the final, as soon as I saw that on Monday, I'm just like, oh my god, why would you guys do this to me? Why would you guys make, and like, it's happened to me before with WWE and AEW too, like just wrestling in general and anime, all that shit. It's like, okay, my brain can see a certain vision where you guys might be going with it, but the heart, the heart always wants something else. It
Yeah.
sees something tantalizing. It's just like, oh, but I would love that to happen, but it's just like the mind just being like, no, come back, get away from that dream, go away. It's not happening. Just stay focused, stay modern, and all that. Um, but any other comments on Gunther, the tournament?
If I could give the last comments before we transition on to our world champion itself, I would
If
say
if it's last comment, then 1 second, then, because I did find a when I was trying to look for the submission name, I
okay.
found a fun. So, but I'll leave you for the transition here in just a second. But this was actually a fun fact I didn't even know. So apparently on November 19th, 2005, Gunther, back then he was known as Walter, he wrestled his first match in Bern, Switzerland. And that same night, nearly 700 miles away in Coventry, England, John Cena headlined a WWE live event defeating Kurt Angle. Nearly 20 years later, their paths finally cross. Gunther versus John Cena in Cena's final match. Like, that's just that's just kind of crazy when you think about it. Like,
It's
some sort of
coincidence.
coincidence like that. Yeah, I know. So sorry, didn't mean to cut you off with that
No,
right there.
no.
But
It's actually
if
pretty
you were gonna do
cool.
final thoughts, yeah, I at least wanted to share that before we
Yeah.
moved on with everything. But yeah, that's just kind of cool. But go ahead, Vash. You got some
That
final thoughts. You got a transition in mind. Lay it on us.
that is a good type of final nugget to kind of add for
Hmm.
our knowledge about Gunther. For those that are like, hey, where's the story for Gunther? Hey, we're adding story, we're finding the story. Like, hey, how does this connect 23 years later when it comes to Gunther? How can we have one and one actually have them meet up for next Saturday? At the end of the day, like Walkers, like Drop, like myself brought up, we may not all see eye to eye of what we would have picked as our final opponent,
Mhm.
but we are okay with the result. We see the bigger picture. We see the possibility of where Gunther could go, where Gunther could end off to, and where we could see him transition, hopefully, as the pinnacle, as him meeting with Roman Reigns, and him meeting with Seth Rollins and other big contenders' names. I would love it for LA Knight who would have won, but unfortunately, as much as Watkins said, I'm a fan, but I'm also at the end of the day reviewing, critiquing as we are here as content creators. And at the end of the day, I see the bigger picture for Gunther. Like I said, I still stand by my opinion as of now until we see the results and how it happens. But at the moment, like I said in the beginning of the tournament, when it came to Gunther, I didn't see him. Now that we're here, let's see how it ends at the results and how he defeats the Super Cena. Do we have the Superman versus Lex Luthor, or which reference do we have when it comes to the end of the match? It depends. Minds versus Bronze, or do we get that kryptonite? Do we find it? Did Gunther find the kryptonite from now to that week? Because he said it that I will have you tap out, I will take you to your limit. But
Yeah.
for that transition, Walker was asking, was it the right guy? I said, hey, have you ever been screaming at the manager and say, hey, I don't like what's going on here, and then almost get your car robbed from you? Have you ever had that happen up to you, but also get beat up while you're driving out? Guess what? Cody Rhodes has said, hey, Drew McIntyre, I'm tired of your bullshit. I'm going to come and beat yourself in your own car, in the driver's seat, and still do what I want in the beginning of the show without the title. That's my only critique. I'm like, hey, it would be nice if you carry your title at least behind you or something, but hey, if you show your frustration, you show the anger of how Drew McIntyre has been, we thought it was over, but guess not. It's not over until the last man stands for the third time. Right, Watkins?
Yeah, hopefully. Ooh, that'd be actually a good stipulation for that match. But yeah, so we're moving on from John Cena tournament. We're moving on from all that. We'll find out more, like Vash said, next week after we get the match. But of course, what's going on with our WWE title? What's the bigger picture here when it comes to Cody Rhodes and his next defender? Well, like we found out, the night started with Drew showing up to the night for SmackDown in his nice little car, but being told, hey, you need to leave. You're still suspended. Paul Heyman's kind of a shit talker, and he did not get you cleared, buddy. You're still suspended. So Drew's heading out, gets beat up by Cody in his car. That's kind of embarrassing. But yeah, Cody just he does his little angry walk to the ring. You know, he's a little I'm angry.
Oh, yeah.
So he heads up to the ring, basically just demands Nick Aldis reinstate Drew McIntyre so that way they can have their fight and all that. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Unless Drew is taking the title from Cody,
Thank you.
I kind of don't want this. I mean, don't get me wrong, match will be great because they're both great stars and all that. But I'm sorry, if Drew's not taking the title, I don't want this.
Look,
Like-
I'm gonna say it right now. Drew has to win this. If we're gonna get this match, Drew has to win because you cannot have this man
Yeah.
literally be having the fucking year of losing his opportunity after opportunity
Right.
after opportunity. This
Wait,
man
Oh.
needs to
year?
win.
3 years.
Yeah.
Well, I say years. I say
Man.
years because of his renewed contract that
Yeah.
happened in the end of summer 24. So I'm just saying year because we were told the hype that he's going to become the bounty hunter. We're going to have this character for him. I'm going to predict this now. If this man definitely wins, as he should, reinstate that bounty hunter type of vibe for the bloodline. Whatever happens with the MFTs or not, have Drew take out the MFTs, have Drew go after Roman and set that shit
Yeah.
up for WrestleMania 42. That's what I'm looking for. Don't give me no Cody versus Roman round 3. No, I'm looking for that Drew
Oh.
or Roman. I need Drew to get back into the big picture and stop taking these L's. I need you. You are presenting good stories. You are a good businessman. You are going out there with the people, say hi for the gym stuff and everything. Great. But I need you to be my champion if you're going to be doing these storylines. I also need some end results. It's great to see you on the main event here. I love to see you here being involved with the number one guys, but I also need you to get some W's, not just talking all this shit and getting beat up in your own car. Because for a second, I thought you was gonna get robbed, like Mr. Iguana robbing our boy Ethan Page this past Tuesday on NXT, guys. Cause that shit was ridiculous, but it was still funny.
That's just a gem. NXT can be a gem sometimes.
Oh,
I'm not
it
gonna
does.
lie.
I love it. It did us feel some type of Looney Tunes, and I'm here for it. I'm
Oh,
here
yeah.
for it.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win because I'm hoping for it and just reinstate
mean-
this type of bounty hunter vibe and go after Roman. Yeah, I think that might go for the full picture because I'm here for it, man.
Drop. I'm gonna go to you for that one. I'll have you answer that question. Wait, everybody's taking a simple. Why
All
does
right.
everybody know?
right.
Why?
All right, so I'm just gonna come out and say that's not gonna happen. Like the whole point of this
know.
match even being a thing doesn't make any sense. It was the same
Yeah.
thought process I actually had, and we'll talk about him right after this when it comes to Carmelo Hayes about the Miz potentially showing up because they haven't
God
really
damn it.
acknowledged each other ever since they had their last feud. The only thing they really
Yeah.
had going with them was the whole War Games thing. I kind of wish they just left it at that and just moved on. That's why I'm glad that, Carmelo's doing something different. Obviously, he's being set up for that. I was kind of hoping we were doing the same thing with Cody, like maybe just have him focus on what we'll talk about shortly here. And then after that event takes
Mhm.
place, then you can transition to something else because, I mean, they're not going to have Cody drop the title before WrestleMania. It's just not realistic. And this is me looking at the mindset that we were just talking about in the previous segment when it comes to looking at things from a realistic point of view. If Drew isn't winning the match, then there's no point of even having the match. He's just going to end up losing again. And it's just, I mean, I had high hopes for this feud, and I'm honestly not really feeling it. Like, I felt like there was a lot of potential there when it comes to both of these guys. I'm not really feeling it. Like, there was a lot of substance here when it comes to the sort of direction that they could have possibly gone down when it comes to the sort of story they could have told, talking a little bit more about their history outside of just alluding to it or just bringing it up briefly. Like, there was a lot of things that they could have really dug into, but they're not. So it's like, where the match happens, when
Yeah.
Cody puts a title on the line, wherever the case may be, if it's some SmackDown or whatever it is, he's not gonna win, and then that's not me speaking from being a big fan of Cody, because I am, and it's not me speaking, oh, I don't want him losing the belt. I just don't see it, because the two people that realistically you will see heading into WrestleMania next year with the world title is 100% probably going to be Cody. And then the other one's either CM Punk or Braun Breaker, which we'll talk about this as the month goes on. Should win that match on January 5th, by the way. It's either one of those two guys that are going to be heading into that WrestleMania as champion. It's just not realistic. And I kind of just wish that they could have just dropped it the way it is, because, I mean, we're just running into circles with this feud at this point. So it just comes to a point where you just really need to push things to the side, because I don't care about anything revolving these two moving forward. I'm more interested in what Cody's doing next weekend rather than this. So if I'm speaking like that, then there's obviously an issue going on there and you need to correct it. Because Drew's just looking like a bum.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because, like, and most of the time, I'm just going to come out and say it. Most of the time, he's right.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff he's saying.
Yeah.
And what he's complaining about. It's like, okay, I'm kind of on your side, Drew. And I think one thing that kind of sucks about all of this is we kind of know Jacob Fatu was supposed to be part of all of this.
That's another thing.
And I mean, plans had to change because, you know, injuries and surgeries had to happen and all that. So, you know, you can't really help any of that. You know, got to take care of yourself at some point in your life.
Side comment, did anybody see already Penta had his surgery and already is training back in the gym? It's fucking insane. Just like, that's ridiculous.
He's like how fix everything.
And also on Instagram Live and having a Maracha band behind him while fucking training. I just want to state that, chat, because I was gonna bring this up during last night graphically, because I'm like, this man, he's like literally having the energy of like, woo, Sano, Miano, and I'm like, my God, that's not healthy. But hey, you're probably like a John Cena. You're supposed to be out for 8 months, but then you come back in 4 months. Hey, it happens.
He'll be back in time for the Rumble. Don't worry. Don't you guys wait. But yeah, I mean that's what just kind of sucks. Is like a lot of this was just kind of plotting around because Jacob was just gone. Supposedly he's supposed to be coming back soon.
Yeah, I heard sometime this month actually.
Yeah, I hope so. And hopefully we can kind of continue the thing that him and Drew were doing, because that was also kind of interesting. Because also
we got to find out who attacked him.
Yeah, see that too. Like, there's
I forgot about that. We have 2 attackers. We're still trying to figure them out. We have one that could climb a cage, and we have one that attacks somebody in the backstage parking lot.
It was all the same person.
Yeah, both of them.
It was all one person.
Both of them are going to be milked to oblivion, because you probably won't find out who that person is on Raw until the first Raw of 2026. And then, I mean, I can't really give you a time placement for this Jacob Fatu thing, because it's been a good 2 to 3 months or so since they even did that.
Yeah.
It could be like
we'll find out.
It could be like a Jade Cargill one where everyone forgets until the story is needed, and then it gets a whole video package to remind us about it. Like, hey guys, in case you forgot, because we did too. Here you go. Here's a reminder.
Oh God.
Remember? Oh man. But hey, one thing to always remember is that NXT is a thing. And hey, don't forget, we're supposed to have exhibition matches between NXT stars and main roster stars.
Oh yeah.
Who are we gonna do this against? And oh my God, no, hold on, no. Because
if you wonder why
happy.
I don't have the visionary hat for this night, it's because I gotta give it props to Walkers. Me and Drop literally texting the thread. I'm like, why is he not answering? And in my head, I'm like, he's probably a couple minutes behind. And then he finally answers. He's like, oh shit, damn, what?
Yeah.
As soon as Cody turned that corner and I saw Ricky Saints just leaning on that desk, I was like, there's no way I had future sight today. There's no way I had that shit. Oh my God. So anyways, everybody, we gotta
say, chat, y'all should know he recorded this like I think at 2 o'clock. He sent it to us just because we posted it at like a 6 or 7, we don't know if it actually was planned or they got the idea and mentioned like, yo, like an hour before, like, you know what, that's actually a smart idea, guys. Let's do this.
It did go on TikTok first.
They watch us.
Yeah, they did go on. It was on TikTok first, and that's getting a lot of attraction. The clip itself is getting a lot of traction because within like a good 10 or so minutes, he was already at like around 200 views. So obviously when the time was posted, it probably looks different. I haven't checked it, but it's like I'm pretty confident they have, because I mean that's not something that you think of on the spot. You kind of have to sit down and think about, okay, this is what we're going to do for this and that.
Yeah, but man, I'm so happy that we're gonna get, because I really like this. I really like this because we haven't had this in a while, where it's like an NXT champion facing the WWE champion. We had it with like a former champion, but that's in the past. That's, oh, you're a former champion, whatever. Nah, this is legitimately the future against the present. And I really don't know who I want to face Cody. And it makes you want to watch. See, this is what I'm talking about when it's like, this is must-see TV. This makes me want to watch Deadline. I part of me already wanted to anyways, because we had the Iron Survivor stuff, which is a great match concept. Yeah, those are always good. Yeah, the rematch of Obafemi and Ricky Saints, that's going to be a banger in itself as well. But this just makes you want to watch it even more, because there's that mystical word known as stakes, which makes you feel invested in things. One thing that, War Games was missing, fun fact, was the stakes. Oh, why are we doing this? Why are we having this War Games match? Oh, I don't like you. Really? That's why?
Yeah,
that's why. Okay. You can just kick the guy in the dick and move on, But like, I'm excited for this. I don't know who I want to face. Who I want Cody to face. I would rather him face Ricky, because I don't think Cody would be losing this match, because I don't want Obafemi to eat a loss like that in just some random exhibition, And again, that's no slight to Ricky Saints. It's just, I think Obafemi, he's kind of in that, oh my God, I almost said Goldberg. kind of in the Goldberg way. He's in that spot where it's like he needs to just decimate anybody he's with. Yeah. But God, man,
if I could jump in just out of excitement as well. When I saw Cody coming like out talking to Nick, like, hey, Nick, are we gonna still talk? All right, cool. And I'm like, hey, in my head, there's gonna pan in, have the door closed, tease or something. I'm like, come on, I don't want to be teased. But now when I saw the two people at the conference table, just chilling, like, I got called here on a Friday night before my match. Why are we here? And I'm like, ooh. And what's funny, chat, look, I didn't know what was Watkins' video exactly about when he sent it. We got it out there, and then once it was posted, I'm gonna support our content, watch it as well, because I also want to know what was discussed. I saw the whole clip. I'm like, yeah, he's cooking good stuff. I agree on everything. Don't disagree on one thing. And then once I saw Ricky States and I'm like, I did the meme of Leo. I was like, oh shit, we cook. And then I was just like, look, I have to agree, Watkins. I want, like, my heart desires Obafemi. I want Obafemi. Just imagine Obafemi just stepping out, just with that crowd, and just Cody Rhodes. In the memes, in the memes as well, with Cody Rhodes, of how I forgot the nickname they have for him. But that he's invited for the cookout. I forgot the name. But just to see Cody and Oba as well, just going at it, and also Ricky as well, they're going at it, the memes for it. But what I want is Obafemi. But what I think we will get is Ricky Saints. That is my prediction, because Ricky Saints also has history with Cody from the Indies, and also from, I was about to say TNA, wrong one, AEW. So with them having history, this could be implemented to the show, and this would be good build for story and future matches that they could have on the main roster. So that's my prediction for it. Even though I will be watching Deadline, I did message drop early before the show. I said, hey, are you watching Deadline? Want to watch together? If Wonkus is gonna watch, hey, we could make a watch party. Maybe just do just a chill sidecast. Who the f knows? Because I'm here for it. I like the Iron Survivors. They're always fun. So Ruka also has a big moment as well. So things are gonna be having stakes, as Watkins said, because this is the clip for it, having stakes. Right, Drop? Because I know you like also having steak.
You know what sucks? I'm gonna be out of town tomorrow. So I'm not gonna see I'm not gonna see anything until like it's over. And then you'll get my raw reaction.
I say either avoid it and watch it and just have clip for it, or just watch it and then do a quick like, oh my god, this happened. I can't wait for me to experience this on Saturday Night Main Event. Who knows?
Oh my god. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut in there.
Oh no, it's fine.
The adrenaline is there.
Yeah, but
it is. It's in my soul.
Yeah, but speaking of steak, I did have it for dinner tonight, so that was pretty good. But also, when it comes to like the match that Cody could have, either it's with Ricky Saints or Obafemi, you can't really go wrong either way, because regardless who he faces next week at Saturday night's main event, I mean, it's going to be a good match regardless, for one, and two, I mean, neither guy is like a bad option to really have in a match against him. So it's like, it'd be pretty cool to see Ricky Saints in a light with Cody outside of AEW having a match together. That'd be pretty cool, seeing the chemistry that they have, because Cody, I believe around the time he was the TNT champion, did have a match with Ricky Saints as well. So they have been working together in the ring before. It's not like this is like a one-time thing. And also, if you really want to establish Obafemi and you really want to like go the extra mile with him, and I'll bring this up a little bit later too when we talk about a certain someone else towards the end of our show, the way that they structure like these specific people when it comes to who they want to put in these high profile matches, they're doing it for a reason, because they want to show you that, yeah, when these people come from NXT to the main roster, these are the people that you're going to see on your television screen. So when it comes to Ricky Saints or Obafemi and they're going up against your main guy, the number one guy in the company, I mean, that's very telling. If you're getting that opportunity to go up against Cody Rhodes, kind of like how Cody did when he had Roman a couple years ago, that's very telling. They're telling you, without even saying it, that these guys are the future, and we got some plans for them. So, I mean, I would be happy with either option. Honestly, if I were to choose one, I mean, I would probably say Obafemi, but at the same time, you can't really go wrong. That's the thing about this. You can't go wrong with either one, because they're both charismatic. They're both good in the ring. They both know how to cut promos. I mean, what else do you want me to say?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know I keep going back to it. Just like, who do I want to experience live more, Ricky Saints or Obafemi? I'm just like, oh, Obafemi's right there. I can just okay. I'll say this. I will say this on camera, on stream, all that stuff. If Obafemi wins, I'm buying a shirt. I'm buying a shirt when I'm there.
That honestly, I mean, if you want,
you can't go wrong. Yeah.
Here's the thing I will say, because I'm very heavy on like themes when it comes to certain themes being set. If it's a chapter of Chainsaw Man I'm reading, and there's a certain theme that Fujimoto is displaying throughout that chapter, I like to acknowledge and break it down to my viewers so they understand the deeper meaning. If there's a theme that you want to pull from that special event next weekend, it's pushing the next generation. Having people like Gunther and Obafemi or Ricky Saints go over to carve that path for them. So if you really want to build to the future and you want to give this show to them, because if I recall, I even believe John Cena said he was opening up the show, and he wants to give the rest of the show to everybody else that's the future, just like how it was for him. That's definitely a way to do it. That's definitely a way to spread that message, is to give back to the people that are going to be here when you're gone.
Yeah. Apparently that got debunked too.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Like, well, sort of, because like, because I remember, because that was that Kimmel interview he had,
Yes.
where he
Oh,
was just
okay.
like, yeah, because he was like, yeah, I would love to go first, but he's probably gonna go last. I
Oh, yeah.
mean,
Okay.
because I understand his mindset with it, and
Yeah.
I adore his mindset with it,
Hmm.
but they're probably gonna have him go
Oh, yeah,
last.
definitely for sure. But like, I definitely understand
Yeah.
his perspective because he is that kind of
Oh yeah,
person. So even
he
just
is.
seeing him here, that's why I believed it because that's just how he is.
Mhm. Exactly. Oh my gosh. But before I blow my load anymore, I need much like somebody after intercourse needs a cigarette, we need to go into our mid card stories now to kind of get off of this high, because I need next week now. I need Friday Saturday. Let's talk about our mid card stories though. We had some stuff in the mid card that happened. That
Good
was,
stuff. Some good stuff.
yeah, there's some good stuff, some mediocre
Sleeper.
at best stuff.
Some good
Some
Mhm.
time to
stuff
take a
that's
nap.
just like, why are we doing this? But we'll come to those roads when we cross it. Let's start, of course, with one thing that's always a highlight for every SmackDown: the United States Open Challenge. I really like how we're doing more of like a story with the US Open Challenge, where it's like, okay, we're actually, not only pushing talent by showcasing them in banger matches, but we're actually doing something with these talent. We have Champa and Gargano both being jackasses. We have Carmelo Hayes trying to prove himself and win his first title on the main roster. We have Ilja Dragunov, who just wants to beat people up, and the whole iron sharpens iron thing, like continuing to push himself to make himself even better. Like, I really appreciate how WWE's like crafting a story like this for the United States title. And yeah, like I said, we got Ilya Dragunov taking on Carmelo Hayes for the US title. Um Banger match. Holy crap. I like what you said, Drop, in our chat, on our Discord, which, if you want to join the Discord, the link's in the description below. You can chat with us while these shows are going on. It's a lot of fun. We have a blast talking about them. But you made the comment of them being, of Ilya and Carmelo being wrestling soulmates. And I mean, that's just the perfect way to describe these two. They know each other in and out. They know how to counter each other. They know how to like outmaneuver one another when it comes to certain moves. Like Carmelo Hayes, he looked really good. Like he was able to, hell, he countered the H bomb at one point with his knees. That was really cool.
Yeah, he
That was
did.
really good. You know, but at the end of the day, we had to have some interference from a certain jackass named Tommaso Ciampa, because Carmelo Hayes wanted to talk some shit before his match and all that. And we, again, I love intertwining storylines like this, because like afterwards, later on, we had Fraxium, who still have some beef with DIY. They want to get some sort of revenge on them, but they got to wait until after next week when Dragunov has his moment with Champa. We still get these stare downs with Tamatonga and Ilya Dragunov. When are we doing that? I would like to know. Maybe Tamatonga can answer one of these open challenges soon. Who knows? Maybe it's going to happen after all this DIY for Axiom stuff. I don't know. But again, I really like how we're just building up the US title division, and just how we're, again, just intertwining so many different stories with what's going on. And a lot of other stuff, but I'm going to let my other co hosts highlight all that stuff. Drop, what do you think of the US title open challenge this week between Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes?
So I was really excited to see these guys go at it again because they had 3 matches in NXT, and this is their first match on the main roster. So this is the 4th time that these guys have gone at it with one another. And based on the first 3 matches that I saw with them in NXT, they work very well with one another. I do consider them wrestling soulmates when it comes to really reading each other in the ring, because I kid you not, when it comes to those matches that they had in NXT when Melo was champion and then Ilya eventually beat Carmelo for the title, and then Melo and him went at it again. I just was so absorbed in everything that was going on between those guys. Like, they really pushed themselves to the extra mile. Like, that Carmelo Hayes that you saw tonight, and then that Carmelo Hayes that you saw with Gunther, that was the same energy that he had when he was going up against Ilja with those 3 matches in NXT. So to see that Carmelo Hayes brought to light again, and for somebody like Ilja Dragunov to ignite that fire for him right after that great match that he had with Gunther, I thought it was the perfect segue to really start kicking in the gear when it comes to what we're doing with Melo. Because Ilja Dragunov, I mean, we say it all the time on this show, he always puts on great matches. So I don't really have to break down an Ilja Dragunov match that much, because we really know, because we know that the structure of it. We know how much he pushes himself to the extra level to really get all these people really focused on like what he's doing. Like he treats that match just like Gunther does. And I do make parallels between the both of them, because if you want to talk about 2 guys that do have something in common that really bring people to the next level, you can throw Ilja Dragunov in there as well, because he really, I mean, hey, when Ricochet was still in the company last year, he gave a really good match to Ricochet. And Ricochet is also another guy known to have great matches, but when he was in the ring of Ilja Dragunov on the one episode of Monday Night Raw, which I do know we did cover on this channel, it was a phenomenal match. So it's like, I really like how Ilja Dragunov is using this US title open challenge thing to not only make the title special, but to also let the audience know how special he is, but also taking the momentum he has and taking the momentum that Carmelo Hayes has had after that Gunther match to just enhance him even more. The only thing we really saw towards the end of that match, of course, is Tommaso Ciampa still salty because he hasn't gotten that opportunity yet, which obviously that is the end game when it comes to Ilja Dragunov and Tommaso Ciampa, which again, that's another guy that needs to get more of a rub, because he was no joke in NXT Black and Gold. Same thing with Johnny Gargano. We really got to start kicking things into gear then, because Triple H does have his favorites, and Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are definitely up there when it comes to his favorites. Gunther is also another one from that era as well. He was really favoring there. And when it comes to like that, obviously we'll see where that goes. It's either going to be Ilja and Tommaso, or Carmelo's going to get himself involved. I would honestly prefer Carmelo to really get himself involved here, because now he has a reason. Because I just don't really see him having a match like scot-free where it's like, okay, you know, we're gonna have Ilja and Tommaso, and Tommaso's gonna have a match with him and lose or whatever. Like, I mean, after you screwed me over my match, you think I'm gonna let you walk away like empty-handed? Like, no, he's gonna get himself involved. I could potentially see a triple threat here, which, oh my god, with those 3 guys in the ring having a triple threat, that's gonna be awesome. Because I just honestly feel like this is the best direction they could really go down, because I brought it up in the chat where they were currently doing something with Miz and Melo a couple months ago. They haven't acknowledged it for so long. So that tells me, as a viewer, it doesn't matter anymore. So you can move on to something else, and you could have Carmelo Hayes insert himself with another program, with another wrestler on there. It doesn't have to be Miz anymore. Miz can go off, do his own thing. He could bother someone else. They could start a feud or whatever. Because that was like one of the things I was fearing, because it's like I get that there's still something there, but they haven't acknowledged it for so long. So again, that tells me it doesn't matter anymore. So just move on from the Miz. Don't even like go to it. Just, which I'm hoping I can see where this is going as well. Have Tommaso have his match. He doesn't end up getting the match because obviously Melo's going to be all upset about it. Just make it a triple threat for the US title. That's honestly the perfect direction that they can go down, so you can have Carmelo Hayes involved in something that's actually meaningful. Because I get it, Miz helps out people when it comes enhancing talent and everything. But if Carmelo Hayes is going to be stuck with Miz, I mean, it's not going to really do anything with him. It's kind of like derailing him from that match they had with Gunther. So just push him into what I discussed right here, because that's the better direction. And I'm not going to have anyone change my mind on that.
Yeah, no, I feel you with that. I think a lot of the end game for this is going to be Melo holding that title.
Oh, yeah.
And however we get there, whether it's him defeating Dragunov, or if the story ends up being like, oh, Tama Tonga ends up with the title, and now Melo not only has to, now he can't, beat his rival. He has to now face off against MFTs. That's almost a bigger hurdle than Ilja right there, because now you have like 5 guys, 5 Samoans, mind you, that will just eat you for dinner. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's kind of a hefty challenge too. Now I would prefer him beat Dragunov. I that's how I would prefer it, but I could see multiple angles from that. But I do like the idea of that triple threat as well. They could always either hold it after next week, or like the week after, or save it for the first SmackDown of the new year, because I know they want to definitely bolster up those shows going forward. Which I know
It
we
comes
didn't
back for
mention
3 hours.
Why would you remind me?
It comes back
Why
for
would you
3
remind me of
hours,
that
starting on the first
bullshit?
Friday. Yeah.
Keeping
Remember, chat, we're
forever.
starting our show at 11:20 instead of 11 or 10:30. Yay.
Oh, God.
I hate everything. I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it
He
here.
loves
Keeping the
it when
VPN.
Oh,
he loves it when I
yucky.
remind him things. Oh yes, a big shout out to NordVPN. We're not sponsored, but if NordVPN
Yeah.
ever catches our video and they want to sponsor us, trust me, we will take that. Where we could
Yeah.
say
Oh, yeah.
NordVPN / Weebs of the Ring or
Weebs of the
Animal
Ring.
Studio will be our code or
WOTR.
coupon. Yeah, one of those would be our coupon.
Water.
Oh, yeah.
Water.
Water.
Oh man.
But hey, chat. If
Vash,
you also
yeah,
care
go
about my
ahead.
opinions about this, they said
No,
everything.
muting you.
They said everything I need to. There's literally 100% about this match fucking cooked. I could literally go to the thread, literally name you the things that shocked me, but I could tell you as well. Go check out Discord because I was there reacting. I was like, oh my god, the H-bomb. Oh my god, this happened. Fucking Campia. Why you gotta be there, you fucking bald-headed white bearded man, you fucking Kratos. Why you had to go there? Carmelo's
Boy.
almost had it.
No.
Oh, brother, the oats.
Brother, can I have some oats? No.
Chat, by the way, please go to search up brother, can I have them oats, and
Please.
just watch the whole playlist.
Please.
Just watch the whole playlist. If not, check out Weebs Lounge where we might have a whole 20-minute tangent just of that. I bet you the goal is to have a 5-minute tangent, but I bet you knowing the guys, we're gonna have a 15-minute tangent. I'm gonna be like, I can't control this.
It's gonna be the whole episode, brother.
I'm gonna hear so much memes. They'd be like,
brother.
I'm gonna hear so much distraction. I'm like, we're trying to do a 20-minute show. I mean, a 2-hour show talking about Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers. But hey, chat, like I said, seriously, Carmelo Hayes is fucking amazing. He honestly cooked with this match. Edge Dragunov is like, literally, is one of the things I look forward to. And what Walken said is very true. That with the open challenge, it was more about Sami Zayn on his level, that it was to prove himself and also uphold the routine of the open challenge of what John Cena has started from all those years ago. But when it comes to Ilja Dragunov, it's a bit different. It's about giving opportunities for those that deserve the open challenge and the right to fight Ilja Dragunov in the ring. The ring is a peace place. It's a fight for battle, for pride. And that's why when Ilja Dragunov, by the way, he stared at the video, at the flashback. He's like, wait a minute. What the fuck? And I like the way he was like pissed. I was like, what is this? What is this? Why am I seeing on screen? This is audacity. The audacity of betrayal, of cheating. I gotta find him. I gotta beat him, man. I gotta take him out. And I love how he just spoke to Knockout. He's like, look, I get you guys have your own battles, your own problems with Campion. But Nick, all this. Give me this match.
Yeah.
Now. For next week. Not now, though.
Thank you. And it makes a lot of sense for him to act like that because it is in his nature where he wants to fight with honor. That's the whole idea behind the Ilja Dragunov characters, to fight with honor, and you're kind of like insulting him in a way when you do something like that. It's kind of like you're basically disrespecting him there when it comes to how he wants his matches to be presented to the audience. So, I mean, every way that he acted towards the end of that match was completely in character, and I 100% agree with him.
Yeah, his
Okay.
Saiyan pride is strong, and you cannot deny that.
Yeah.
The Saiyan Czar will continue to reign supreme as the United States champion for a little bit longer until Carmelo Hayes has his rematch and all that. But
Plus,
speaking of rematches,
I just want to say, Agent Dragunov, if you ever want to be interviewed about Weebs of the Ring, we'd love to interview and ask you anime
oh
questions as
buddy,
well. Please,
oh buddy,
please, we would
Oh,
love
hell
to. We
yeah.
will just give us an hour of like at least 10 questions so we just have a
give me
good
the
discussion with
Zenkai
you.
boost. Give me the Zenkai
I just
boost.
want to know your like your gym regimen. Like I've seen your videos, Adrian. I've seen the way you the way you work out. As a gym alcoholic here, and as a athlete that was back then in high school and in my young 20s, I want to know your regimen because I've seen it. You are a beast.
Here,
You are a Vegeta.
I'll put in perspective for you because I listened to the episode of What Do You Want to Talk About, where Cody was talking to Natalia on there, which a great interview, by the way, about Nepo
Agreed.
babies and all that stuff.
Yes.
But they had talked about the dungeon a little bit, and Ilya Dragunov had gone down to the dungeon to do some training. And Natalia mentioned that Ilya was treating just that training match he was having down there. He treated that like a
Like
WrestleMania match.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
insane. And for
And
her to call that, and
Mhm.
she takes the dungeon very seriously
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they all do, but it's just like when you go into a mindset like, okay, even because that's how you really should be going if you're going for like a practice or just working out or anything. You should really like give it your all like that. But that goes into a whole other tangent that can be saved for another, promotional or what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, the English language is a thing, so I'm not going to waste our time by thinking of the word that I'm trying to think of. Instead, I'm going to think about rematches and how certain people want rematches, including a certain tag team for their tag team titles. We had Alexa Bliss taking on Kairi Sane tonight, kind of some fallout from War Games. I do like the little bit that we got beforehand, which again, these are bits that I wish we got more of before War Games, but I guess better late than never. Fine, cool, neat. I love how Alexa is just like, yeah, Charlotte, you're getting better with your social skills. War Games definitely helped you with that. So it's like, all right, cool. Kind of playing upon that. Neat, awesome. But of course, they're looking to get their tag titles back, and that starts with Alexa taking on Kairi Sane here, which I thought it was a good match. They're both tiny ladies and they kind of
Mm.
work well together in that aspect. I love the little part where Kyrie's just like, oh, you're actually kind of shorter than me. Isn't that cute? Give her a little head pat and all that. But no, I thought these two did really well in their match and all that. And Alexa Bliss does pick up the win with the Sister Abigail TDT. So, setting up their eventual rematch here. But oh, we're not done yet
Mm.
because out comes Nia Jax and Lash Legend, or as I'm going to dub them, Nylash. So Nylash come out to attack Charlexa, and Charlexa's now down. The Kabuki Warriors try to fight back, but it didn't really work too well because, Nylash is very powerful, very strong, and all that. They are looking on top just a little bit, but I do appreciate Asuka at least getting into the ring and doing something instead of just yelling Kairi and being pissed at her. Like at least Asuka was a good leader at that point. But yeah, Nylash are coming for the titles. They kind of badmouth the Kabukis a little bit. I mean, if I'm being honest, I could care less about Nia Jax. Love Lash Legend, but Nia Jax, there's the door. You could just leave. Get away. I don't want you. I don't want you here. But that's just my little humble opinion. Vash, what did you think of this match? Didn't you enjoy this match all the way through from start to finish?
So, Chad, if you want to know what exactly happened during this match that he may be pointing to, go check out the Discord of our community of Animal We Studio. That's the parent company of Weebs of the Ring. That you can see the full conversation. What happened to Vash? Did he lock in? Hey, the commercial song on the VPN is a good type of nap music, is all I'm saying. The Laffy, it's a nice beat that you just could zone out, chat, and I did zone out. But out of this 8-minute match, I did watch about 45 minutes, so I did like watch at least the beginning and end of the match, and it was good. It's just that I wasn't fully there for the match itself. But what I could give you chime in about is I do agree, Watkins. The backstage stuff before what happened, the Charlotte and Alexa stuff was really good. The back and forth explaining how the relationship is and explaining what's going on with how they're dynamic and oh heart, oh fist bump, oh no heart, oh no fist bump. How's adorable, look cute stuff. As a internet cousin of Last Legend, as a Vash D legend here, we are the legends, as my other cousin out there, JD Legends. There's a lot of people with the Legends last name. The Nia Lash, not your best work, but I see the vision. If I see in a couple of weeks that SmackDown starts calling them that, then I'll be like, okay, that's confirmation. They are definitely 100% watching us or hearing from us 100%. But I like how everything went into what I like to call a clusterfuck. Like everyone had their own type of spot. You could tell. It's just that when Nia and Lash was throwing Kairi around and doing their spot, it's just that you could tell Kairi was setting herself in the middle to get the big boot from Lash. The reason I'm supporting the dynamic of Lash Legend and Nia Jax, it actually works for their group, their duo, because Lash doing their promo work with Jackie actually sounded good, actually sounded coherent, and it sounded like a heel promo. Like, hey, we are the big bad, the strength. We got the strength duo here. I see that the attitude was there. Nia right now doesn't need to give a lot of promo talk. Right now, she just needs to give a lot of the support. Because right now I see Lash doing a lot of the work, and I don't mind that. Hopefully it does well, because in NXT, she was very good in her promo talk when it came to Metaphor. I believe it was the name on top of my head for Metaphor. So that was well executed from Lash Legend, so I see that. But Kabuki Warriors and Charlexa, are they going to run it back? Do I care for it? No, but would I like to see it? Yes. The reason there's a difference is because when it comes to the woman division, I'm still not right now sold, because right now it's a clusterfuck of you having all your main stars in the tag team division. But don't worry, chat. We will talk about them momentarily in a more in-depth. But when it comes to this, hey, Lash Legend, I like to see you doing good. And hopefully you have your next match being successful, because we do have one. I thought it was going to be Lash Legend versus Charlotte, but I guess Alexa's going to go on that round 2.
Yeah, I guess so. Have the tiny person of your team carry all the weight.
Thank you, right? I'm like, why wouldn't it be Charlotte, the tall one? That why wouldn't it go Charlotte? It don't make sense in this. Like, why wouldn't you flip the opponents?
Yeah, I don't know. Drop. Can you make any sense of this?
I mean, in all honesty, I just want to see what the end game is here with this, because don't get me wrong, I love Alexa and I love Kairi Sane, and I'm really hoping Kairi Sane, at the very least, has a better 2026, because, I mean, she's a really good wrestler, and I feel like she's being underutilized right now, so I'm really hoping they actually structure a proper path for her next year, because if you guys seen what she did in Stardom, where EO came from, and when Mercedes had her match with her when she was doing a couple of the indie scene stuff before she went over to AEW, Kairi Sane is like very underrated talent, so I'm really hoping she gets pushed a little bit more, because I mean, you would be looking at her as like the same way as you're looking at Asuka or Io if they actually gave her better presentation, and that's me being brutally honest about that, because that's how good she is. But I'm just really wondering exactly, like, once we get these one-on-one matches out of the way, like, are we just going to finally figure out what we're going to be doing? Like, I wasn't really the biggest fan of like how they ended that match on Monday, when it came to just everybody jumping in there and having the DQ thing. Like, I don't know, like, the way I look at this is like, we're just getting a couple reps here, and then we're gonna figure out exactly like who's going to be going after those titles. Like, the best way to really do it, and obviously they're going to milk it as much as they can, which is fine. I have no say over that. But just throw all of them together, let it be free roam. Don't have it be
Mhm.
one of those matches where only certain people go in when they're tagged. Let it be free roam. Let it be a tornado tag TLC match for the ladies. Let them get
Yeah.
creative. Let them have some fun because I mean you got a lot of people to work with there, and I'm sorry that just looks really awkward having like all these different teams involved, and then you're just having two of them in the ring, and then the other ones go in there, and then they do their thing back and forth. Just do something like you did with the men not that long ago on SmackDown when you had that TLC match. Like actually do something with the ladies because you got to give opportunities with them. If the men can have blood and guts in AEW and they can get their hands dirty, the women should be able to as well, and they did, and they had a really good match with that. I mean, look at Sky Blue's face. It's a good
Oh
example of
God.
how wild she was able to get the first couple of minutes of that match. But it's like,
Yeah.
just do that because I don't want to see a regular boring tag match. I'm
I
sorry.
agree.
No.
You look at the competitors that are involved in there as well. I mean, why would you even consider just a regular tag match?
So you
Yeah.
brought a great comparison of the match that I was going to mention, the one of the men's one on the SmackDown. Also, another one is the one with the TLC that they had at WrestleMania, the good one of with Montez Ford and a few others, where they had that I believe it was like a Fatal 5-way or a Fatal 4-way, which that also was a good TLC match. So the one on SmackDown will also involve with Montez Ford as well, and the other tag teams that I'm not gonna mention on top of my head, but chat, yeah, I know is those two are good examples that I feel like we could get that in this type of Fatal 4 or Fatal 5 woman tag team match and execute
Mhm.
so good. The parts, the execution. We have Charlotte, we have Oscar doing some cool stuff. We have Alexa that could jump off the, that could jump up the ladder. We have other opponents. We have Lash that could do some cool spots as well. So like I feel like there is an opportunity for that.
Yeah. And one thought I had about this, about all this, and I mainly started thinking about this on Monday. It's very interesting how we have a lot of top tier main event caliber talent in the women's division in the tag division right now, which it's nothing against the tag titles or anything. You got to bolster up your tag titles, got to make them mean something besides just being props. I get that part.
Mhm.
But then I started thinking about the timing and what's going on in other companies. And I thought, oh, very interesting that WWE are doing all this stuff with their women's tag teams. Currently in AEW, they're trying to crown their first women's tag teams.
Oh
I
yes.
don't know. That's just the conspiracy theories in me. I'm just like,
Competition,
okay,
feuds,
look,
competition.
yeah. It could be that, but it could also be WWE just being like, hey, look at what we've got. We've got Charlotte Flair, Alexa, the Kabuki Warriors. Don't you want to watch Rhea Ripley and Io Sky do this? I mean, yes, I do, but that's besides the point. It's just funny with the timing, really, with all of this. And I thought about that the other day after watching AEW the other night. Which, god damn, the action was good. I'll say that. But that's just AEW in a nutshell. Um, I don't know. It's just funny timing. As long as they're gonna do something, as long as the end game is palatable or good, then I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. Just what's the end game? What's the end goal here? And are we gonna keep the momentum going forward? That's all I care about when it comes to excuse me, stories like this. But from momentum being moved forward and all that, let's talk about something that I'm still kind of baffled about. I don't know why we're doing this, but that's whatever. So Jade Cargill is taking on Alba Fyre. So there's been some confrontation between Jade and Chelsea Green in the past couple weeks. Last week during SmackDown, I know we didn't cover it because holidays and all that, but apparently during the big celebration for Chelsea Green, Jade Cargill played spoiler. And, it was kind of funny. I will say this. It was funny where Chelsea Green, she did get her fireworks. Shame it came at the expense of her just crashing out in the middle of the ring. But I mean, I kind of got a chuckle at that was kind of funny. But that leads to this match tonight with Jade Cargill taking on Alba Fyre. The match starts off hot. I really like Alba Fyre's drop kicks and mainly how people sell it from her. I really like those, but the match starts. Alba's kind of being on top right here. Out come Kiana James and Julia, who want their rematch for the U.S. title. They start beating up on Chelsea, who runs into the back. That's enough of the distraction to get Alba Fyre distracted, loses the match. 1, 2, 3. That's basically it. We get a tease with Michin and B-Fab. So it's like, okay, we traded, a boost up, if you will, of the women's tag division. And now our other tag division, our other women's divisions are kind of taking a big hit because I'm sorry, Michin and B-Fab trying to feud with Jade. I'm sorry, girls. No. Y'all are gonna get mauled out there, at least in kayfabe. But John, what do you think of all this going down?
The women's division is trash on SmackDown. Like, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. Like, let me clarify what I mean by that. When it comes to people that happen to stumble across this video or this stream, whatever you want to put it, I don't really like the direction that they're heading down with everything. I just find it really weird because those are two different divisions. That's a main event division, and then that's a mid-card division. So it's like, why is Jade starting stuff with Chelsea Green? Like, Chelsea Green should be guiding her own division when it comes to people coming to her, wanting opportunities and everything. And I get it. Oh, Jade's playing this whole bully character. Okay, I get that, but still, that doesn't excuse like the sort of direction that you're having with these characters on television. Like, Jade should be going up against people that are in that division with her, or at least trying to structure somebody that's actually worth being in these feuds with her until, of course, Bianca comes about, secrets out. Yeah, that's more than likely going to be the one to stop the monster. So it's like, we really need to figure out what we're doing here, because I just find it extremely lazy. Because when I saw this, I'm like, what are we doing here? And then you got Michin and B-Fab, which I'm sorry, creative is booking them to just, can't really take them seriously just because of how they're booking them. So it's like, how am I supposed to take them seriously wanting to go up against Jade and stop her when we see them the next week and they're just getting taken out? So it's like, what's the whole point of even trying to build up to something like that? Like, it's not believable. If they actually made Michin believable and B-Fab believable, I wouldn't have been talking for these past couple minutes. I would have been like, okay, I get what they're trying to do. Like, I'll use this for an example. If it was like a Rhea Ripley or an Io Sky or like somebody along the lines of that going up against her and saying, yeah, I'm going to stop you, I can take that seriously, because they're treated as main event stars and they push themselves to the next level when it comes to people that they involve themselves in. So it's like, I can take that seriously. I could even take it seriously if Bayley went up to her and said something just because of who Bayley is as a person, or if it was a Becky or Charlotte or Alexa, people like that, Asuka. I can take that seriously because they're built around that. Even if Tiffany was there, I could take her seriously too, because of how they treated her and how they put her in that position, because that's where she's going to be. She's going to, when she comes back, she's not going to be going to mid-card. She's going to be in the main event scene dealing with whoever, even if it's not for a title. That's just her current status right now. So it's like, what I had high hopes for this Jade Cargill run when she became the champion. I'm not necessarily saying like seeing all these like 5-star matches or classics or anything. Like, I really thought they were going to take this heel turn and bring it to the next level when it comes to evolving the Jade Cargill character, because this heel turn, I still think, was a good move for her, but the execution afterwards, it's just been going downhill ever since then. It's like, we talk about how Ilja Dragunov is like one of the best things we see on SmackDown when it comes to that U.S. title scene. This has to be probably my least favorite parts of SmackDown, and is seeing what is going on in the women's division surrounding the main event scene, because it shows me right there that you're just throwing like stuff at the wall and expecting it to stick. If you're having your main champion just bully Chelsea Green and all these other people, like, I get it, she's supposed to be a bully, but really, that's the sort of creative direction that you're gonna do with that. Like, I just don't like that. I feel like that's just really lazy on creative to just book things like that. And this is another reason why this whole transfer window thing, it shouldn't be on hold. It should be an ongoing thing where you could transfer people back and forth if it's from NXT or somebody from Raw coming over to SmackDown to help out that division, because they're suffering, because their main event scene, like Watkins was talking about, they're all involved in the tag division for the ladies. So none of them are involved with whatever's going on with the women's championship on SmackDown, and that's a problem. Not a single one. Like, you teased her and Charlotte. Where are we going with that? Is that ever going to be a thing, or is it just going to transition to something else and we're just going to completely forget about that until we eventually get to it in the next year or two? Like, what's going on here? Like, I do not understand. It's just like, it's so simple to like walk and figure out exactly what you're going to do with her, but they're clearly like not thinking of doing anything. And like, where's Julia? We're like, what's going on with all this stuff? Like, if you built up Julia well, and let's say hypothetically she turned face or whatever the case may be, I don't really care like if she's a face or heel in this situation. She could have been something that could have been competing for that title and took it seriously or whatever. Like, I don't understand. It's like, I just don't want people bringing up if they come across our podcast or whatever about, oh, well, she's supposed to be a bully. Okay, but you got to give me more than that.
We need more substance than just a bully. We need substance.
Yeah, exactly. You need to give us something to like to digest, because I don't want somebody handing me a plate with no food on there, because how am I going to eat if you're not giving me something good to eat so I could have something in my stomach that was really satisfying to eat that night? Like, it's just literally nothing here. It's like you're giving me a piece of paper, but you're not giving me a pen or a pencil or a marker, whatever the case may be, to write. You'd expect me to like look at the paper and use laser eyes and form a sentence. Like, I don't understand like this mindset. It's just so bad right now.
So if I could follow up with you, because this is something that is very disappointing, because it shows that Jade Cargill, great heel turn. We all said it. Great. All right, cool. We added an extra layer to her character. But after that, it seems like they had no fucking direction with her character or what is going to be her next opponent. Why is she facing the mid-carder opponents? She shouldn't. She just be like, you guys are not worth my time. You guys just go for the U.S. title. Just stay like, hey, if we could have Braun Breaker this past Monday say, hey, CM Punk, you told me I need to cut a promo for the big guys. Guess what? I cut a promo for the big guys. How's this for you? If you're going to break the fourth wall and literally have one of the top guys right now, Braun Breaker, who is literally one of the young ones that's breaking out, and have him break fourth wall and literally say, hey, promo words that we're not supposed to say in the ring, but you were having him say it. But then we can't have Jade Cargill, who's supposed to be the bully. Bullies shouldn't give their targets opportunities. You shouldn't. If you're the bully, you say, you're not worth my time. I don't need to verse you. Why should we have a match? Which I'm happy Alba Fyre is getting TV time as a fan of what she has done in the UK NXT and other stuff. I'm happy for her. But I'm not happy that she's getting a 1 minute 50-second match. That is not good. That is pointless. We are talking more about the actual division than the actual match itself. That's the sad part, because we want more out of the women division. Hey, we're going to talk about it in the Quickfire, but Rhea Ripley went back to Damian Priest to help a whole different feud that's been on and off for fucking 6 months. But instead, we're going to have her do this. We're going to have the Asuka, Kairi, Nia, Charlotte, Alexa, and a few others be pushing the tag division. Great, ladies. Thank you for making the tag division for this past 8 to 12 months actually mean something. Thank you. But at what cost is what Thanos has said. What have you done so much, but for what cost? You've been helping for a tag team division that wasn't really pushing or needed, where we need the main eventing. Jade Cargill, where are her opponents? Why is Ilja going for the U.S. title, where she's like, all right, cool, I lost the title? If Kiana James, if you're supposed to be her promoter, aren't you supposed to promote her for all right, cool, she lost the U.S. title for a couple of weeks or days she had it. All right, go after Jade. That's what you should be doing. If you are the one that's supposed to be helping Gilia, right, Kiana? Help her go for Jade. Why is she going for Chelsea? Chelsea has right now this whole comedy skit type of character route. We do not need Julia to continue being around this character. We need her to mean business. If we're gonna have Chelsea Green turn her character to be more serious, cool. Then that's different. But right now, we know WE don't want that. We like the entertaining, the comedy side, the Nick Aldis Karen manager. Cool. But I need my Julia that's been as a world star globally at Stardom at these events, and I need her to go back to the main event in the picture where we had the great matches on NXT, the few ones where we had with Stephanie Vaquer, the feud and narrative momentarily.
Mhm.
Where is that? So that's my little rant of agree with the
Yeah.
panelists here and adding more little flair of a little, of a different perspective of sides of things.
Yeah, I think my only 2 cents with it is I think I would be more fine with it if Chelsea wasn't the U.S. champion dealing with all this, because like
Mhm.
you could still do the story with Jade being the bully and all that stuff, but it's like Chelsea just won that title and they're trying to tell a story with her and Julia, but now you're throwing Jade into all of this, and it's just like, why? Like, does she need to? Like, can we just focus on the one feud and have that happen? I mean, I
Adding
guess
too many
not, but I
variables.
mean, yeah, it gets into that discussion of like, okay, can we just focus on one thing and worry about everything else later? It's like what happens to a lot of One Piece chapters sometimes, where it's just like there's a lot going on, and some weeks I'm just like, Oda, can we just focus on like one, maybe two aspects of the story right now? And guess what? Guess what? Here's the thing, people. When he does,
Oh, it
those are
cooks.
some banger chapters. But whenever it's one of those ones where it's just like, oh, here's like 2 pages of us here, then cut to over here, and then cut to over here. It's like, oh my god, it makes me kind of think of old WWE where we had a cut every 2 seconds in the editing, and it's
Mhm.
like,
And
why are we doing this?
it gets exhausting because I want
Yeah,
BFAB and Mitchin to succeed in the mid Carter
yeah,
role. We have their attitudes they have with BFAB. She's been putting the work in the dungeon. We've seen her with her video package or her online social media. It's been very solid. But Jade or whatever's going on in the next couple of weeks with the rumor reports of a lot of changes, people call ups and everything, send everyone on SmackDown or mix that shit up. Do not need a draft. We do not need a whole show of what you're gonna do or announce. No, just switch them up, announce them, have them appear, have them show themselves like, hey, we mean business, and call it a day. Have NXT be canon, not canon filler where we have to guess what's going on like Bleach. Have it actually mean something.
right. How dare you give Bleach a strayer like that? How
So,
dare you?
out of the 400 episodes, is like 200 or 150 is actually canon, and then like 150 is canon filler, then the others like canon. So it gets confusing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm using
See,
that as an example. No shots were shot. I'm just throwing blanks. I'm just throwing the example from point A to point B. That's all. Don't shoot the
See that
messenger.
there's your first mistake. You're watching Bleach when you should be reading it until you get to Thousand Year Blood War. But that's besides the point. But speaking of going to war and blood wars and all that stuff, here's a few that probably should have had the war game stipulation added to it. But hey, we gotta throw that into our main event guys and force them into something. Solo Sokoa and his MFTs are out into the ring, and they are going to be responding to the Wyatts after they had decided, hey, you guys are done with your elimination match against Sami Zayn and his team. We're gonna beat you up because we don't like you, and Uncle Howdy's back and all that. Um, I really like this promo that Solo did. He's really coming into this character right now. I'm glad they had that chance to just kind of step away from the cameras and all that, step away from like backstage segments and all that stuff, and just kind of revitalize the whole MFT thing. Because Solo sounded very confident here. I do like his closing lines here. I think they're probably the highlight for me from all this, where he was basically saying things like, everything that was his, and he's pointing up to the sky, meaning Bray Wyatt. So he's just like, everything that was his and is now yours will be mine. Don't deserve the name Wyatt. I'm going to do it because all I have to do is leave. And like Solo said that, I'm just like, okay, good. Thank you for the reference. Thank you for like kind of poking the bear a little bit when it comes to you and Uncle Howdy and all that. Like I just said, I wish this was the War Games match. I feel like this kind of had more of a reason to be a War Games match, but okay, fine. We're just gonna do regular tag team match for the tag titles, which I kind of keep forgetting that the Wyatts are technically the tag champions, which great tag division, WWE. Good job. Proud of you guys for all that hard work that happened, at the beginning of the year, like the first 8 months of the year
Mm-hmm.
with the tag
Yeah.
division, but
Also from
cool,
good January
awesome.
to September. I think it's just after that it just died down.
Yeah. But Vash, did you die down from all this? Did you enjoy it? Did you wish Solo would get off the mic? Were you part of the crowd that was giving him the what chance? Talk to us.
By the way, the what chance was pissing me off too, by the way.
What?
Like, bro, he's actually cooking with his promo. Can y'all let him speak? Like, he's actually doing what his promo. Like, this shit was executed so good. And y'all already,
What?
what,
What? What?
I'm like, bro, can y'all shut up? Like, yeah, I already
Yeah.
ruining the moment. Like, let him cook. Like, he's actually cooking. Y'all been asking for months, or like, hey, can we get more of the, of the Solo we see at the live shows, or those type of little funny gags that we have seen him. Like, that's the Solo we want. We actually saw him cook. He threw shade and attacked Bo Wyatt, literally saying like, hey, what your brother had, you have, but I'm gonna be taken from you. Like, that was actually a good promo. And the way he spoke to the camera, the way the MFT, like, it actually felt like a group. It didn't feel like a Bloodline 3.0. And then I feel like that it actually felt like, okay, so this is a group that's actually menacing. For a second, I thought the MFT was about to betray Solo because the group was outside. But then I'm like, okay, they're doing this for the imagery, for the cinematography aspect, having one team on one side, the other team on the other side, and then having two leaders, face each other, and then have both sides enter and then attack each other. The cinematography, the spots, beautifully, brilliant, very nice. However, I'm really hoping they actually do something, because the thing I want to know, where's my Street Profits? Where's my Montez Ford? Like, that's what I want to see. Like, where's my U.S. title open challenge? Where's my Angelo Dawson? Because after Ya disappeared for a couple months, I think October, we haven't seen Ya. I heard the report, with Bianca having her hand or her finger having surgery too. Don't know if that report is true. So, like, I don't know what's going on for the Montez Ford and Bianca family, but hopefully y'all good, because y'all haven't appeared. But when it comes to my MFT and Wyatt, hope y'all do something that actually entertains us and actually continues a feud that actually has results, and then actually has a domino effect that actually follows. Just saying, that would be nice. Where the guys that actually has the tag titles don't disappear after winning them back in October, I believe is when they won it. So it's been a couple weeks since we have actually seen you guys actually showing up and defend your titles. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing with the tag teams on both shows, mind you. Like, this isn't just a Raw or SmackDown thing, it's both shows.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Lee,
I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else really to add. I'm glad we got a little post-match beatdown. That was cool. Seeing Eric, Rowan, and
The
Tonga.
Talatonga? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
that's
was
the
kind of cool.
that was
Yeah.
cool. The people were
Yeah.
behind it. They were like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh." That was cool. But then after that, he got flipped. The only thing that bothered me is when you could tell when spots are supposed to be in a specific. When you saw boy JC Mateo go to his other side like he's supposed to be, and you could tell he's like, "Oh, I'm not in my spot. I'm supposed to be on the other side." And then that's when he's holding Talatonga back, and I'm like, it looks too choreographed, but sure. I wish I didn't see that one
Yeah.
moment that he was supposed to be in this corner and everything. But hey, still works though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it still works. But Drop, do you have any words on this Solo Sokoa moment we had.
I'm just hoping they do something with this because the one thing I did say once we started getting into the early stages of this feud is I did say that what they did have here did have potential to actually make a really intriguing story, especially when it comes to Solo Sokoa, when it comes to Bo Dallas actually targeting him as a person, actually acknowledging his flaws as a person and all the things that he did in the past. Like, I was just really hoping we can dive even deeper into that because you saw that with Solo tonight. You know, he was being
Mhm.
upfront with Bo Dallas about everything surrounding him and like how he's trying to fit in his brother's shoes now that he's gone and all of that. So I do like that touch of realism there. I was just kind of hoping we got a little bit of that with Solo as well, like maybe Bo talking about him or just saying
Mhm.
a few words about him to really get down to his level, kind of like how he was doing tonight when he was really going at it with the Wyatt Six and everything surrounding that. I just real I don't know. This is an ongoing issue. Like I'm not gonna even bring up the whole tag title situation because we talk about it all the time. So I mean, it's no
Yeah.
different from any other conversation that we have on this channel. But it's like I just really wish they took the chance to actually structure these feuds more, actually work a little bit better when it comes to what they want to put in here to have us get invested in the storylines that they're showing us. Because if the viewer can see more than what creative is doing when it comes to what they could possibly do to tweak it to make it a little bit more interesting, that's a problem because you should be in control of how to get me really deep into your product rather than me thinking of other things to get myself super invested in. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just ready to move on. It's like I spoke about with like the whole Cody and Drew thing. I thought that had a lot of potential. Unfortunately, they're not going down the route I expected them to. I'm not saying it's a similar situation to this because it's not, because there's more with them than obviously these group of guys against the other group of guys, but it's like it's clear as day what you can do here, but you're not doing it. And this is
Yeah.
actually something that has been talked about within the community itself when it comes to, oh, if the Wyatt
Many
Six
times.
were to have a feud with somebody, like what would it have happened? Like hypothetically, if they were a thing around the bloodline when they were all the way up here, like they were super hot, you could have done wonders with that. Obviously, you can't do that because
Yeah.
that whole thing's over and done with. But people just basically bringing up if you want to see like the next thing in line that you could do. I mean, the whole thing with Solo and the MFTs is like right there. And like another thing that I do want to point out as well, just to critique the Wyatt, not the Wyatt Six, Solo and his guys, you can't
Mm.
have everything revolve around Solo because Solo is the only character I care about out of that group. No other
Yeah.
character within that group has any substance to them. Like, you're not telling me what each of these guys' stories are at all. Like, I want to know Tama Tonga a little bit more. I want to know Tonga Loa a little bit more. I want to know who the heck Tala Tonga is. I want to know more about JC Mateo and all that. Like, you're not really giving them like anything to work with. As far as I know, they're
Yeah.
just background characters and Solo's just the main act, and he just presses a button and they just do whatever action he wants them to do. So it's kind of like they're not humanized in a way where, oh yeah, well, we got some insight on this guy, you know, we actually see a little bit from him. We know his story when it comes to a lot of things and everything. Kind of like how they structured the Wyatt Six, telling exactly at the very beginning why these group of people formed. Like they had those little video segments explaining their reasoning as to why they're a thing. And I'm not saying you need to get that with Solo and his guys, but it's like you don't really know anything about them. They're just total
The only thing we
strangers to
know
us.
is that
Yeah.
that's his family tree,
That's
and he
not
brought them
enough.
from overseas because they're dangerous people,
Yeah.
and that he needs
Yeah.
to be protected. That's the only thing, honestly, we
Yeah.
know. I remember when we got finally Jeff Cobbs. Remember, people, that was his name, Jeff Cobbs.
Yeah.
And we finally got him, and people was like, "Oh, remember Jeff Cobbs? How good he is? We're gonna get Jason Martel versus this, Jason Martel versus this, Jason Martel versus
Yeah,
this,"
he's a bum.
and none of those has happened.
Yeah, he's a bum. They're
Yeah.
not giving him any character. Like outside of like those people being there to protect Solo, I mean, they got to give us more than that.
Agree?
Yeah, the most they're giving us is Tama Tonga going up to Ilja Dragunov and just being like, yeah. It's just like, okay, you've
That's-
been doing that for
yeah.
months now, dude.
I
Come
don't even
on.
like that anymore. If I'm being honest with you guys, I don't even care for that.
Yeah, like
stupid
it was
noise stuff
great.
anymore.
Like it was great like the first couple times. Because it's like, all right, you're doing that thing where you like to plant your seeds and all that stuff, but like at this point, come on, dude, pull the trigger and freaking do stuff.
Hey guys,
Ah, man.
remember long-term storytelling. Remember, we still have been having Randy looking at the title for 2 years. Remember,
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
Don't remind me that.
At least that
yes.
has
it's just like Finn right here, just staring, just staring. That's all that's Finn is
So,
doing from afar.
at least you can marinate with Randy. I mean, you want to bring up Finn, that's a whole nother story for another video. That
that's a discussion for a whole other day.
yeah.
The way they've dropped the ball on him. But speaking of dropping balls and being quick with things, we've reached our quick fire segments. We got 2 tonight. Well, 2.5, I guess, because one was a 2-parter. Damian Priest, he has backup in the form of Rhea Ripley against Aleister Black and Zelina. They cut a nice little promo being like, "Oh, I've got his back. We're gonna defeat you next week on SmackDown." We did get a response from Zelina and Aleister. Basically, I do like how they worded their promo segment here with like, yeah, Rhea is basically a succubus of the past, and we need to save you, Damian, from the past. Look towards the future and all that. I mean, cool, neat. I don't know why we're dragging Rhea into this now when she's
Yeah.
already kind of busy with the tag title division.
Yep.
But I don't know. Cool. You know what? This would have been a great way to bring somebody up. Like, oh, I don't know, Lola Vice. That'd have been cool. Why do I mention Lola Vice? Well, check out social media and you'll find out. And of
You're not
course,
wrong.
The Miz. The Miz is so angry that he's not part of Saturday night's main event. So angry, in fact, that he gets kicked out of Nick Aldis's office because Bailey's there to find out that she's going to be at Saturday night's main event. She's going to have an exhibition match against Sol Ruka. And I'm like, oh, this match is going to slap. If any NXT talent is going to beat the main roster, this is definitely a match that I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, Sol Ruka could beat Bailey and I would believe it. That's all I got to say about the other 2 things. Again, I said my piece about the Rhea thing.
So I got you. I'll follow with
yeah.
this. Look, chat.
Good.
Rhea, Terra Twins, amazing. But I have a question. Are we supposed to bring Aleister Black and also Zelina up in their stock? Why do we have the Terra Twins going full power and taking them down? Because the way they're making it sound like Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley is going to win this feud again. Are we supposed to bring stock to Zelina Vega to get her back to the mid-card or get her actually having substance? All right, cool. People on the timeline, it's not a good thing when people are calling them, hey, Karrion Kross 2.0, or saying that, hey, why are we supposed to have these 2 come back when one is busy with the tag team, like Watkins said, but then the other has been having this feud with Aleister since June, and it's been an on and off roller coaster because of a burn eye, last man standing. Usually when you have a last standing match or when you have a Hell in a Cage match is when you literally end the feud. Like the feud is done. Means like, hey, I got the bragging rights, no matter if it's 2 or 3 losses, 5 losses, whatever it is, I took the last W on this match. We done. But somehow Aleister Black and everything we're pushing. I'm sorry, when it comes to it, bear down to the middle. Aleister Black, stock has gone down right now with this feud of Damian Priest, and I'm sorry, it sucks because I want Aleister Black to continue. The people in the back, the people, the higher ups, executives, we heard reports that they want Aleister Black to be the main eventer. They want him to get up there. Cool. But then don't have a cold feud be reignited and then have Rhea get in when it sounds like Rhea can't lose this, or Damian, the way you're making it sound, having the Terror Twins coming back. I'm confused here.
Yeah.
Creatives, please explain this to me. That's one. Then two, Miz stuff, honestly, don't care. Miz, you already have lost your opportunity, not just once, but twice. I don't got much else unless you will be one of the people on the exhibition match when it comes to the Miz versus some other any superstar, probably Javon Evans or anybody else for that night. Then, hey, you have something for you. You could cook something. Then great. However, the thing I'm excited about for, we got Soul Ruka, we got the Soul Snatcher doing her finisher. We have her going versus Bailey. Even Bailey said, hey, it's going to be great seeing you tomorrow for Deadline. Because that means Bailey is saying that I'm going to be doing my homework, watching you do your event, and let's add more pressure because now that adds more eyes. People just heard the audience, the fans say, wait, she's going to be having a fight on NXT versus the main roster at Saturday Night Main Event, and we're also teasing that she's gonna be having a match at Deadline, meaning that we're gonna build her up. And so Ruka, why? Because that's one of the rumor reports that those are one of the NXT call-ups that might be happening. I'm okay with that because right now she needs to finish her feud with Zarya. So let's first finish that, then we can move on, and I'm okay with that. Zarya could stay there, build herself a bit more. So Ruka, having gotten the NXT champion, girl could come back in a few years like Becky and other people have done, or just continue doing you on the main roster on SmackDown because I know there could be more opportunities. But passing it to you, Drop. What did you think about these two events? Do you agree with us that Rhea Ripley is adding too much power in this and is going to be probably burying Alistair, or maybe Zelina not going to be getting any type of stock or substance at all?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when it comes to that, like this is also another comparison I can make to what I said earlier about like the whole Cody and Drew thing. I'm over that. And then I'm also over like this whole entire thing that's going on with the Wyatt Six, like I just touched on not that long ago. And I could say the same thing here because it's like, why is this feud still a thing? Like you said not that long ago, Vash, and like everybody has said too. I mean, because it doesn't take a scientist to know this. A last man standing match is meant to conclude a feud and move on. Like you never saw Drew and Punk go at it again after they had their Hell in a Cell match. They just went their own separate paths after that. Sure, they still hate each other, but that was the end of their feud here. So it's like, why are these two people like still feuding?
Yeah.
Like whenever I see it on television now, I just roll my eyes because I don't really care for it anymore. Like you had me there when it was hot. Now I'm just ready to move on to something new. And also, it's like now you got Rhea gutting for the tag titles, but then she's also with Damian Priest. And I get the whole Terror Twins thing, but my main issue with it is that there's other people that you could have included in that feud, and I was thinking about Lola Vice because that's his girlfriend. So it's like, if you want to be legitimate with what you're doing, Alistair has his wife alongside him in this feud. So you could easily bring in Damian's girlfriend and they could both team with one another and go up against these two as well. So it's like there was an easy slot for you to fill, especially with all these rumors about NXT talent eventually coming up. You could have easily done that with Lola Vice. You could have had something to work with, and you just missed the ball with that for me. Like, I don't really care to see this match at all whatsoever. What is it going to do anything different? Like, I really wanted to see a lot out of Aleister Black, but I'm not really getting this here. So it's disappointing me because I know what his stock value is, and that stock value is not being shown to us. Like, it's not being shown in a way where it's like, I care and I should care, and he should be up there. Like, if in all honesty, if he was booked super well, he would have been a part of those Last Time Is Now tournaments. If I'm being 100% honest, he probably would have been one of the people inserted into those matches Could he have won? I'm not saying he would have, but he would have been a part of those matches when it comes to people going head to head to see who moves to the next spot if he was booked well, because he's the kind of guy I can see in tournament matches because he's that damn good of a wrestler. He's being underutilized. I do not like that. And when it comes to The Miz, I mean, I'm going to keep it simple. I do not give a shit at all whatsoever. I think I made that pretty clear earlier in the show. And yeah, I'm really excited for this whole thing that's going on with Soruka because, like I said earlier, this shows you who they have their eyes set on when it comes to the future of this company. They could have chose any other lady on NXT, and maybe there is other ladies coming there, but they could have chose any other person in that scenario when it comes to going up against Bayley.
Yeah.
But they chose Soruka for a reason because she's that damn good. She's a great wrestler. She has a lot going for her. She is participating in the Iron Survivor match tomorrow, which pretty much if you win that match, you get your shot at New Year's Evil towards the beginning of January, towards whoever's the champion at that point. So it's like she is pretty much being set up with a lot of stock value as she progresses further in her career. And I'm very happy for that because she was one of the people I saw in general having a bright future in this company. So I'm happy that they're putting her against one of the 4 horsewomen when it comes to Bayley, because Bayley loves giving back. She's very out there when it comes to giving back to the people that are coming up because she's been there before. So I really like this. So that's a plus for me when it comes to having Bayley versus Soruka at Saturday night's main event. And it just gets me super excited to see what other matches that they have, because we're not getting in any interruptions here. We don't have this whole thing on NBC anymore. And I enjoyed Saturday night's main event just because there was no commercial interruptions. We actually saw the matches all the way through.
Agreed. That's
So
true.
this is going to be a fun match, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is our quickfire segments, which means since we've finished our quickfire segments, since we finished that discussion, that means we're at the end of the episode. We've reached it. We've reached the end point. Isn't that great? We've talked about so much, everybody, from
Yeah.
tournament finals to tag teams to even fun things here and there. But look, it's gotten to that point. We should probably wrap it up. We should probably say our final thoughts, our final stamps in the nail of this proverbial coffin that is SmackDown from December 5th. Vash, what did you think of SmackDown tonight?
What did I think of SmackDown? It was a good show. It was solid. I only took 2 naps of like 2 minutes, so that's kind of nice to just refresh myself, re-energize, reboot the system, and it was great to see Elliot and I in my head take the W and verse John Cena in a different alternative dimension of where it actually was supposed to be the right results. But if it was the actual right results, it would have been Carmelo Hayes. But that's a whole different conversation. But we're in this part of the multiverse in Earth Prime that Gunther right now with his story that 23 years ago, 700 miles away, that Kurt Angle, John Cena fought. We had Walter doing his thing, and now we're here as John Cena versus a 38-year-old Gunther going for the last final, and John Cena may tap out, so only time will tell. But honestly, this was a good conversation, good 2 hour and 5 minute podcast. So talking about the after show of Friday Night SmackDown of a 2 hour show. Couple more weeks to talk about 3 hour show. Stay tuned, chat. I know we're gonna be excited about that. I know Watkins is looking forward to it. Honestly, if they want to do a 3 hour show, just move the SmackDown show if it's possible at 7 p.m. EST and end by 10. If y'all could approve that green light for USA Network, that'd be gladly appreciated because I will honestly be okay with that 7 p.m. EST SmackDown show. But honestly, other than that, this was a fun show to discuss and break down. And now that with the John Cena farewell tournament is over, now what are they going to be telling us on a weekly story that does not have the MacGuffin of a tournament? What are they going to be setting up? Because now they got to actually be creative without having a tournament on their docket until to set up Royal Rumble by the time January hits. So let's see where their story goes.
Well, cool. All right. What about you, Drop? What'd you think of the night overall tonight? Now that we've got to the end point of our show.
So I thought this show was good when it comes to certain parts of it, of course. Like the main things I really loved that I want to highlight is the expedition matches that we are getting at Saturday night's main event. That's what I took from this show the most because it gets me excited to
Mhm.
see who's going up against Cody, if it's Obafemi or Ricky Saints. And when it comes to Bailey, she's going up against Soruka. So that gets me super excited just because we're seeing the present versus the future right now. So I'm really happy to see exactly like what's going on here with that. And then when it comes to everything else in between, like when it comes to like the whole thing going on with Ilya Dragunov, I'm hoping we could get that triple threat like I mentioned because I feel like that's the best path for all three of those guys to really have them put on a great match for that US title. And if I had to throw some, nasty little slime in here before I, pass it off, we can conclude this show. I mean, the women's division on here is awful in terms of creative because it just
Mhm.
seems like we're just running into a wall. We're expecting to go through the wall, but we're not. We're just continuing to cross through the
Yeah.
wall over and over and over again, and there's like nothing happening. You're pretty much at a dead end here. I don't know. It's just not really my thing, and I can easily if I can walk away from it and I can make myself like a cup of tea or take a sip of water and have more entertainment out of just sipping a water for like a second or two. I mean, I'd rather do that and watch whatever you're doing with the women's division on SmackDown because come on, you obviously know there's an issue. Social media is
Yeah.
available for a reason. Take social media into an account. Not everybody on there is super bright, trust me. We've talked about that quite a lot. But when it comes to everything surrounding like how you need to switch pieces a little bit around, maybe get other people from other shows to really maybe carve a path for Jade, because I'm just gonna end it off here. If you're building Jade towards Bianca, and Bianca's a really key player in the game, how are you gonna convince me by giving me all this nasty like mush or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it? Not gonna convince
Yeah.
me anything.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Yep. Again, I thought SmackDown was pretty dang good, especially after coming off of a bunch of builds, a bunch of shows to forcefully build towards some War Games matches. Now we can actually like refocus on stories going into the new year and hopefully setting up for what WrestleMania and especially what Royal Rumble is going to be setting up. Because don't forget, everybody, we're going to be in Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble coming up. Isn't that just fun and great and grand?
Oh heck yeah.
Ah,
Oh heck
looking
yeah.
forward to it.
Definitely. It's gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah. Plus, it's taking place during the day, so we'll be able to talk about the Royal Rumble at a good, decent time. Yeah, but again, we've reached the end of our show, and thank you guys so much for sticking with us through the late night, through the yeah, we went pretty long. It's been a while since we've had a long show like
Yeah.
this. Like, but
Great
that just
show.
goes
It's
to
just
show you.
good
Yeah,
discussion.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like that's just the thing. Like this is what happens when you actually do a good product. When you actually create a good product. Like, yeah, we had some issues here and there that we, talked about and voiced our concerns about, but like this is what happens when you actually do something that or like create a show worthy of conversation. We were able to sit here for over 2 hours and be like, oh, this, and this. Oh, I don't like Gunther. Well, fuck you. Hate Gunther. Things like that. Like we could actually have these conversations and actually kind of have fun with it too. So yeah, but more shows like this, if not better. Like the bar's been reset. Let's keep raising it and let's keep the momentum going forward. That's all I ever ask. It shouldn't be that hard to do that, but whatever. That's besides the point. But as always, we've reached the end. Vash, what can these people do? Where can they find us if they want to talk to us beyond the podcast beyond the limits of normal human expectation, where can they find us? What can they do exactly to talk to us?
Well, chat, I have to tell you a secret. If you want to know where to find us, all the links are down below in our description. They're all in the bio. So all the links are where to find us on our social media, on Twitter, TikTok, IG, YouTube, where you're finding us right now on this platform. Like we mentioned earlier, twitch.tv/Animal Studio. We might be live doing probably watching Deadline, myself, Drop, who knows watching. We might be talking about it. There might be a short form content discussing about it. But what additionally could tell you guys, we have a Discord community where you guys could hear our Raw comments, SmackDown, NXT thread when it comes to NXT every Tuesday, and AEW thread that don't get used that much, but it's there, it's existing. But we also get
It's there.
additionally, we are under the umbrella of Animal Studio. If you're talking about anime, manga, wrestling, webtoons, and everything from entertainment, you guys want to hear about Stranger Things, we have Stranger Things conversation from season 5, volume 1, and also it's season 1 through 4 coverage. So all the links are down below of where to find our entertainment media conversation or our Stranger Things playlist. So there's playlists for everything of our conversation, our short form content. So we appreciate everything you guys do. So if you guys see a content that you like from us, comment down below. Give us your thoughts. So maybe if you guys have a question, maybe we could do a video about that, break it down, go more insight. All those little comments helps us and support us. If you guys want to support us, like I said, comment, subscribe, press the notification as well, and like this video, like the stream, and all those things. We appreciate it. And thank you. And remember, it's a heart, not the fist bump. It's a heart.
Oh my god. Again, she's getting better after War Games. Her sociability is getting better,
Yes.
But, as much as her sociability is getting better, what even gets better is a, just gratitude. An unimaginable amount of gratitude. So thank you once again for joining us and taking time out of your day to listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoy what we had to say, again, do all that wonderful stuff that Vash told you to do to follow us on all those lovely social media platforms. Also, be sure to use that hashtag Weebs of the Ring. That's a great way to interact with us before, during, or after these shows. It's also a great way to give us feedback because, unlike some big companies, we actually listen to our fans. We actually take your criticisms and comments into consideration. They go into a nice little suggestion box, and whether we look at it right away or wait for 500 years to look at it, hey, at least you suggested something. At least you put it in the box. And the only way to do that is by using that hashtag of Weebs of the Ring, because that is the suggestion box. Yep, great way to kind of just interact with us and be part of the conversation. Weebs of the Ring is presented by Anime Studio. Thanks, of course, to our production team for all of their hard work to make this show a reality. Thank you once again for joining us. And remember, as always, no stunt grannies were harmed in a recording of this podcast. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Rest well, rest easy. We'll see you guys and gals on Monday night for the Raw Brands Red Show.
L8 night. Yeah.
Have a good weekend, everybody.